My name is Andy Gruig, and this is my grandpa, Don Geisey. Down here with us is my sister Laura and my cousins Maddie and Sam Geisey, and Reagan and McKenna Geisey. Grandpa is a Korean War veteran and served in the United States Army from 1953 to 1955. He was an ambulance driver and had the rank of corporal. During the war, he was stationed in France, and his army buddies there called Grandpa Big D or Goose. One time, Grandpa was escorting some other men to a hospital in Paris, and since it was not really an emergency, they decided to take a self-guided tour of Paris. After they got lost, they asked a taxi driver for directions to the American hospital they were looking for. Grandpa said that his service was a good experience, and he's glad that he did it. Thank you, Grandpa, for being here today, and thank you for your service.
This is our Grandpa, Gary Benson. Grandpa is a veteran who served in the United States Army Reserves during the Vietnam War era. The Grandpa did not go to Vietnam to fight in the war. He is a veteran because he served in the United States from 1963 through 1971. While he was in the service, he was involved in infantry training, transportation, and motor vehicle maintenance, and also in civil engineering. I am proud that Grandpa helped his country during the war and that he's here with us today for Veterans Day.
I think so too.
This is my grandpa, Tom Meyer, and my name is Madison Rose. These are my sisters, Grace and Alex, and my cousins. My grandpa is a veteran because he was in the Air Force Reserves during the Vietnam War era. He did not actually go to Vietnam, but he helped in the training and preparing for the Air Force and Army for war. One of Grandpa's duties in the Air Force Reserves was to help load cargo and equipment that was transported in a big airplane called a C-119. Grandpa says of his service that it was a great experience and that he learned a lot as a result of his service. Grandpa has served our country and has also served our school very well. He's a custodian here at Fort Loramie Schools and is going to retire this January after working here for over 30 years. Thanks, Grandpa, for your service and for being here on Veterans Day.
My name is Sarah Thomas, and this is my grandpa, Jim Coffin. These are my cousins, Josh and Megan Coffin, and my sister, Jenna. Grandpa Jim is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Grandpa served in the Marines in 1966 and 1967, which makes him a Vietnam War veteran. Like Mr. Winsman and Mr. Meyer, my grandpa did not fight in Vietnam. He was stationed at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina and helped maintain vehicles for the 2nd Marine Division. As a veteran, Grandpa has been active in the American Legion and volunteers with the Buckeye Boy State program. We are all very happy to have Grandpa here with us to celebrate Veterans Day with us here at Fort Loramie.
My name is Conrad Siegel, and these are my sisters and brother Gus. Maxie was sick today, Vivian, Ellie, and Macy, and our cousins Gabby and Isaac. This is my grandpa, Leon Stockman. Grandpa is a Vietnam War veteran who served in the United States Air Force from February of 1964 to October of 1967. During the war, Grandpa was in a number of different countries, including Vietnam, where he worked as a crypto system equipment repairman. His job was to make sure radio messages could be sent and received back and forth between the front lines of the war to headquarters in Florida. Because most of his work was supposed to be kept secret, Grandpa would
Grandpa had to make himself look like a regular citizen during the war, so he had long hair and a beard. We are very proud of Grandpa and what he's done for our country, and thank him for being here with us today.
Hi, my name is Shelby Bowen, and this is my mom, Beth Brandweek. Mom is a veteran of Desert Storm and served in the United States Air Force from 1982 to 2006. Mom started off as a Morse system operator and interpreted messages that were sent through Morse code. Throughout her career, she was stationed in Air Force bases in Virginia and Nevada before finally being transferred to the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Here, she was an air transportation technician. Mom elevated to the level of First Sergeant and has given a lot of herself to the United States Air Force and to our country. For this and for many other reasons, I am very proud of her. Thank you, Mom, for your service and being here today.
The veteran that I'm speaking about is not here because he is currently serving in our country in the United States Marine Corps and stationed in Hawaii. My brother, Sergeant Matthew Stevens, is involved in intelligence, meaning he tries to gather information that helps in keeping our military and our country safe. He tries to prevent cyber terrorism, specifically in areas of satellite communications. Matt graduated at the top of his class at the NCIS school in Florida and has been in the Marines since 2009. Obviously, I'm very proud of my brother and thankful for the dedicated service he gives to our country.
This is my Grandpa Roger Filling. Also here with me is my sister Ellen and my cousin Brandon. Grandpa Roger is a Vietnam War veteran and was a member of the Army Ohio National Guard. He served for 6 years. He was a truck driver in a transportation company and drove troop trucks and other types of trucks. He was called to active duty when there were riots on the Ohio State campus and race riots in Dayton. Grandpa's brother Jerry is also a Vietnam War veteran. Jerry is my great uncle. You can see a picture of him on the screen. Great Uncle Jerry was a private first class in the United States Army and was killed during the Vietnam War on September 30th, 1970. Jerry Frilling is the only Fort Loramie graduate to be killed during the Vietnam War, and last year was inducted into the Fort Loramie Wall of Honor with 7 other men who were killed during the war. I am proud of my grandpa and my great uncle for their service to our country.
My name is Clint Ratterman, and this is my sister Kristen, my brother Jake, and these are my cousins Taylor and Devin. Grandpa Ratterman, whose nickname was Turb, was a member of the United States Army Air Force during World War II. He was an aerial gunner, or ball turret gunner, on a B-17 Flying Fortress. He flew 32 bombing missions over Germany from September 21st, 1944 to January 28th, 1945. At that time, the number of required missions he had to fly was 25, but he flew 7 more than what was required. Grandpa passed away when I was 9 years old, and as a result of him suffering a stroke before that, I didn't know Grandpa that well. But because of celebrating Veterans Day, I've gotten to know him better, and I'm proud of his service. I'm thankful for his service, as well as the service of all veterans in attendance today.
We have one more veteran in our show and tell presentation. I invite Vernon Hoyne and all of his great-grandchildren to come down and join him.
We thank Nancy for a lot of this.
You should be down there too. Yeah.
My name is Morgan Lyman, and with me are Brad, Nathan, Emily, Jacob, Ben, Madison, Mallory, Colin, Kyle, Nick, Kevin, Carson, Elizabeth, Caleb, Summer, Jenna, Nolan, Elliot, and Macy. We are some of the great-grandchildren of Vernon Hoyne. This is Great-Grandpa Hoyne, and he is a veteran of World War II. He served in the United States Marine Corps in the Pacific Theater of World War II. Grandpa was a corporal in the 6th Marine Division and was in the infantry. On April 1st, 1945, Grandpa was involved in the Okinawa invasion during World War II, which is one of the more famous battles of the war. During the battle, Grandpa was wounded in the arm by shrapnel from an artillery shell, and for that, he was awarded the Purple Heart. Great-Grandpa Hoyne was also involved in other battles and fighting in the Pacific Theater of World War II and was involved in fighting against the Japanese. He served from 1944 to 1946. Grandpa is one of just a few World War II veterans in attendance today and is the oldest veteran here at the age of 91. Our entire family is very proud of Grandpa Hoyne's service to our country, and as we grow and learn more about history and more about his service, our respect and admiration of him and other veterans grows. Thank you, Great-Grandpa Hoyne, for your service.